Welcome to Inside Aesthetics, the world's leading podcast for injectors and cosmetic businesses. I'm Dr. Jake Sloan, an aesthetic doctor based in Sydney, and I'm joined by my co-host and good friend David Segal, an entrepreneur and an aesthetic business mentor. Each episode of IA showcases unfiltered conversations with guests from around the world. In a sometimes disjointed industry, IA aims to help educate and connect our global community to raise the bar for both our businesses and our patients.
To further support and educate our listeners, we offer a range of additional resources under our IA Patreon subscription service. This caters for injectors and business owners of all levels and includes interactive live Zoom sessions, webinars, hints and tip videos, private chat groups, and exciting future content to come. To subscribe to IA Patreon, head to www.insideaesthetics.com/Patreon or click the link in our podcast description. You should seek medical advice before undergoing any treatment or procedure, and these podcasts do not replace a professional and bespoke consultation. Well, Jake, I'm excited. It's a collagen episode today.
Hooray!
I'm all about the collagen.
We're renaming this one to David's episode.
David's episode. And we're joined by a very esteemed and special guest who's been on the podcast 3 times before. In fact, you were number 2 on our podcast. You were the second guest that we ever had on our podcast. You were one of the only people that would give us the time of day when we had no episodes, no reputation. Well,
I'm actually going to upgrade Fiona. She was the first guest. We were the first guest.
That's right. Actually, you were. We were number... Yes.
Yeah, I thought I was number 1.
There you go.
I mean, number 2.
And we've done 2 subsequent episodes with you. So just to remind listeners, if you want to go back and listen, obviously episode 2 we just spoke about. We did an episode back in 2019, which was episode 36, where Fiona came on and spoke about vitamins, supplements, and the microbiome. And then again in 2020 during, was it COVID? That would have been COVID.
Lockdown, yeah.
Lockdown, talking about how to support your immune system. So it's been a little while, and we're very excited to have you back because not only are we talking about collagen today, which is one of my favourite topics to talk about, but we've actually formed an alliance or a partnership to work with you and your company VitaSol. So thank you very much, Fiona, for coming back and donating your time so generously.
Yeah, why didn't you introduce yourself to all of our new listeners who maybe are new to you or new to the podcast or vice versa?
Well, thanks for having me back. Where do I start? I've been in the skincare industry. I'm a veteran. I've been in skincare for over 30 years, which is a bit scary when I think about it. So I literally live and breathe skincare. I love it with a passion. I'm from the UK originally. Hopefully you can still hear that Pommy accent. I started out trained as a skin therapist. My background is skincare. I've been a clinic owner. I've been hands-on skincare. I've been an educator in dermal therapies. I'm also a nutritional medicine practitioner, and I'm also a cosmetic chemist. So, I've been in the industry in all sorts of different roles, from hands-on to educator to product development, both in skincare and in nutritional supplements. So, losing my voice. I'm talking so much already. And so obviously at the moment we're doing VitaSol. So VitaSol is a supplement that I'm very passionate about, and we developed. It's all natural nutrition, and we work primarily in the clinical space. So educating skin specialists, aesthetic nurses, really how they can intertwine integrative skincare. Because for me, as I know you guys agree as well, it's not just about injectables to look younger. It really is a lifestyle approach, and that's what I'm really, really passionate about.
Yeah. Well, why don't we tap into that first of all? Why do people ignore it? I mean, I kind of do. David's a guru of this kind of stuff, but why do you think people can't connect the dots? Because, people aren't stupid. They know that they need to eat well and hide from the sun and all the rest of it. But why don't we do that?
Look, I think everybody just wants a quick fix. I mean, one of the reasons, to be honest with you, I stopped clinical practice from a nutritional perspective, I stopped consulting in the nutritional space, was really I just got frustrated because you would sit down and you will go through lifestyle factors, how to reduce stress, how to help support sleep, how to eat well. And these people were coming with really basic things of wanting to lose weight, for instance, or tiredness. And it's quite simple when you actually break it down, just there's some very, very simple strategies we can incorporate, but most people just don't want to make the change. They want to go out drinking. They want to drink their alcohol every night. They want to eat the junk food. They want the quick fix. They want the pill, and they want the injectable treatments and quick. The reality is, though, there is no quick fix. And usually people then start to look at changing those lifestyle factors, unfortunately, when it's too late.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm very, very passionate about education, making very, very simple changes to lifestyle and diet. It's not about having to go on these ridiculous juice cleanses or, stripping out all of these different food groups. It's about what we can add in to make our diet healthier, what we can do in our lifestyle, increasing exercise daily, reducing stress, very simple strategies that can make a world of difference to our mental health, our general health and well-being, and of course our skin health as well. And I think prevention is always going to be a lot better than cure. And I know David and I have had the conversation many a time about this. And even during COVID, it was all about, get vaccinated and do this and do that. And nobody was actually looking at, diet and obesity and things that we know are going to be risk factors for general health and well-being. And if we don't get that right, we are going to increase the risk of disease. Obesity is a huge problem, but we don't seem to want to fix that. So as you can see, I'm going on a rant.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, I guess, just to...
I get very passionate about it.
Yeah, I mean, not to counter that point, it's totally relevant, but, in the middle of a disaster, people were certainly not going to go out and lose weight. They're hiding in their house, and it's just a long-term thing, isn't it?
Well, eating and drinking more. Yeah,
be absolutely right. The people who are overweight, high blood pressure, diabetes, etc., those are the ones who are prone to all illnesses, not just COVID.
Yeah. I think we live in a world where we want to outsource everything. I think human beings go to is to be lazy if we're not forced to have to overcome obstacles or have to work hard for something. Because life is so convenient now, we just outsource everything. We want to outsource our health, outsource physical things that need doing around the house potentially, people outsourcing raising their children to mobile devices. It's a different world now. And I think part of that comes, if that health is impacted as well. People want to go to the doctor, get an injection, get a pill for a problem. They don't actually want to do the work themselves. And I think that's potentially part of the problem, is that we need to have a mindset shift to actually start taking responsibility for our own health. You go to medical professionals or nutritionists like yourself to get advice, but people need to take the time to care and to educate so that you're informed, so that when you hear something that may not be correct, you've got some kind of general knowledge to be able to sanity check that or to get subsequent opinions. So we can't just outsource it to someone else and think they're going to fix everything. We need to be part of the solution as well, I think.
And to be fair, whilst, most sensible people know roughly what to do, there's a lot of information out there.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Whether it's about skincare, diet, collagen, you name it. Hopefully Fiona can untangle some of that for us today.
So why don't we sort of tap into the VitaSol range, because you've got a range of products. I've got a heap of them in my fridge. I'm regularly stocked up on all your products pretty much. So do you want to just tell us a little bit about the range and maybe some of the philosophy behind the product and the concept behind the business?
Yeah, I mean, for me, my background is skincare and nutrition. So I've always been food first and foremost. So getting the diet right is really important. We know that increasing plant foods in the diet, it's a really simple step we can do to help support the gut microbiome and to help support general health and well-being. What we were just saying, however, though, people want that quick fix. They want the pill. They want the solution. We know that just taking an isolated vitamin pill is not going to have the same effect as eating a healthy diet. Even if you go on the Cancer Council and have a look, it will literally say that you cannot get the same effect from a vitamin supplement as you can from a healthy diet. Interestingly, the nutrients that we get in our diet are at a much lower dose than what you would get from an isolated vitamin pill. So, that could be a vitamin C supplement could be 5 to 10 times stronger than what we would be getting in the diet. And the evidence really isn't there to support isolated vitamin supplements unless there is a medical reason to do so, or there is a diagnosed clinical deficiency and you need a higher dose to get that vitamin level up. Otherwise, you're just peeing it out really, and it's expensive urine. We know, however, though, when you get your nutrients via food, it is coming with phytochemicals or phytonutrients. These are working on a biochemical level in the body. They're working on the body's biochemistry to help to upregulate things like antioxidant production, like superoxide dismutase, glutathione, thousands of times stronger than what you would get in a synthetic vitamin supplement. So we're basically, when we're getting nutrients through food, you're getting your vitamins and your minerals. You're getting things like prebiotics, polyphenols, phytonutrients that are working synergistically together to optimize your body's own cellular function without having to rely on an isolated nutrient, which we know things like even 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, when taken as an isolated supplement, can actually downregulate your cell's own ability to produce its own antioxidants, which makes sense, right? Because you're relying on the external high-dose antioxidant, then getting your cells to produce its own. So that's really the philosophy, if you like, of VitaSol. My ideal would be nobody would actually need to take VitaSol, right? Because we are getting the perfect diet. But because it's something like 96% of Australians we know are not getting enough plant foods, particularly fruits, vegetables, legumes, VitaSol's the next best thing. It's designed to help to support a healthy diet with your prebiotics, your phytonutrients, your polyphenols, your vitamins, your minerals, your omegas, to support gut health, general health and well-being, and to support the skin from within.
Yep. Do you call it a legume or a legume?
Legume. I call it a legume.
Sorry.
What did I say?
I think you said legume. I don't know. Maybe I've probably been saying it wrong my whole life. I say legume.
Legume.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because you look at the food that we're eating, even people that try and maintain a healthy, well-balanced diet, we've also got the factor of depleted soils, foods that have been genetically modified, which have an impact on the nutritional content of that food. I mean, you hear people all the time talk about the taste of an orange 50 years ago compared to now, and apparently it's not even comparable in terms of just the difference that it makes to your palate. And so what's your sort of knowledge like in terms of how depleted the food is that we're getting in our body? And I guess that is the precursor to why you created VitaSol, is that even if you are trying to do everything right, the chances are that the food you're eating isn't really packed with enough nutrients because of our farming practices and the challenges that come with trying to feed an entire world.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, how much of that is propaganda?
Yep.
I would question, to be honest with you, because the vitamin supplement companies aren't going to tell you that you can get all your nutrition via a healthy diet,
yep.
right? If you look at sort of the nutrient quality in soil, we know that certain nutrients may be depleted, such as things like magnesium in the soil. But there's still magnesium in the soil. There is still nutrients in the soil. Otherwise, the plants wouldn't grow. And I know, David, you're into plants. You would know that. You know, you can actually tell when a plant isn't getting the right nutrients. It will change color. And I'm no plant specialist. So there's still nutrients in the soil. A lot of that is, I believe, propaganda, because you'll never get the same nutrient. It's very hard to prove the nutrient content of plants. It's going to vary depending on, the seasons, the weather, all of that. So that's always going to be variable, but we are still going to get nutrients from plant-based foods. They may be perhaps lower than they were years ago. How well that has been researched, I would question that. I do believe that you can get the right amount of nutrients through a healthy diet, but most people just simply do not eat the right amount of food to get those nutrients. Most people are eating ultra-processed foods. If you swap out to, say, a plant milk, which most people that I speak to are non-dairy now, unless they choose that product very, very carefully, they could then start to be not getting enough B12 or B2, riboflavin in the diet, calcium, protein, all of these things. So I think our food choices are also affecting our nutritional status as well. A lot of these health food products that are promoted as health foods aren't actually that healthy. And a lot of people don't realize that. So they're off taking their coconut yogurt, not realizing they're not getting these valuable nutrients and protein that they would from dairy sources. Now, some people don't want to eat dairy, and you can get all your nutrients even if you're not eating dairy, but you've got to be mindful of where you're getting those nutrients from. And that's really why I wanted to develop VitaSol, to make it an easy way to get additional nutrients, prebiotics, polyphenols, all these phytochemicals that you just simply don't get in isolated vitamin supplements into the diet. And that's where that came from. And so it's an easy way to get your nutrition up, supporting a healthy diet. I always say VitaSol's for the person that's, your green smoothie and Botox type of person, that they want the injectables, they want the aesthetic treatments, they want to put good stuff into their body, but at the same time, maybe they do want to go and have the odd Negroni, Jake, at the weekend.
And him, not just me.
Occasionally, yeah.
Or margarita. We've got to live. We've got to have fun.
Yeah.
But we also want to know that, when life gets busy, VitaSol's got your back.
Do you know, after our party at Coogee Pavilion, was it a week or two ago, I'm terrified that people think that I particularly am alcoholic. I might have one Negroni a month if I'm lucky.
You don't go to meetings. You're not an alcoholic.
No. I genuinely don't drink that much at all. But I think because we speak about it so much, it spins this idea that I'm sat here all day with a Negroni. I definitely don't.
Hopefully not while you're treating patients.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to ask you, Fiona, actually. So you said on the one hand that vitamin supplements not good evidence and maybe you're just making expensive urine, and then in the same sentence you have a supplement, if you like, that does pack in a lot of this. So what's the difference between the two?
Well, we're not the high dose isolated supplement like a synthetic vitamin supplement, right? Which has got all your sort of excipients and binders and fillers in there and isolated high dose supplements. We are basically like freeze-dried fruits and vegetables. Okay. So we're whole foods. So with that means you are getting your vitamins, your minerals, but you're also getting your phytonutrients, your polyphenols, your prebiotics that are the necessary fuel for your gut microbiota that you wouldn't be getting in a pill, a vitamin pill. And that's the main difference there. And I think that's what people need to understand, that it's not as simple as just taking an isolated vitamin supplement. We know that high-dose vitamin supplements can affect other nutrients in the body, very much like a medication. A medication has its purpose, but there will always be side effects of that. So when we start megadosing with nutrients, unless you need to do that because of a nutritional deficiency, you're going to start messing with the body's biochemistry and knocking out other nutrients. So long-term supplementation of zinc, for instance, you can affect things like your iron levels. You can affect your immune system in a negative way long-term. So there's a time and a place for vitamin supplements for sure, particularly when there's a time of nutrient depletion or deficiency, but long-term supplementation, there just isn't the evidence for that of megadosing high-dose nutrients.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shady industry, isn't it? Because they can sort of, the way that they sell these things and promote them, and there doesn't seem to be much accountability around how accurate the information is that's promoted, and people just seem to get on this treadmill of just taking supplements just mindlessly day after day. And from what you're saying, Fiona, it sounds like they could actually be doing something counterintuitive and actually causing more damage to their body because it's throwing it out of what you said was a hemostasis, where the body will try and auto-regulate itself, and you're throwing it out all the time by dosing with synthetic vitamins that you maybe don't need.
Just look at the studies on that. And even things like, you've got to be careful. So if you're taking supplements that you can start to overdose on the nutrients. It's quite easy to get your nutrients in a day if you're eating a diversity of foods in the diet. Then if you're taking multiple different supplements, you can get to a toxic level, particularly with things such as vitamin A, also with some of the B vitamins, even though they're water soluble. When you take things like vitamin B6, when that gets to a high level, that can create things like nerve damage. So you have to be very careful. Even the TGA sent a recent warning about, are you taking vitamin B6? You could be causing signs of nerve damage. Just last week, there was one on turmeric supplementation. So for liver damage, because we know that turmeric will actually affect the detoxification pathways in the liver. So if you're just isolating high doses of it, again, it could be detrimental. Now, when it's in the diet, in cooking, absolutely fine, because you're having it in a much lower dose. So anything in high dose, in isolation, long-term could be detrimental unless there is a medical reason to do so.
It's incredible how many people will invest in handfuls of pills every day, not really having much clue what they're doing, but it seems sensible to them because they're just taking A to Z basically. But they'll say, organic shopping, too expensive, can't do that. Not going to cook sensibly and just eat some colourful food today. So it's a mindset thing as well, isn't it? Like you said, David, if you can just pop a pill, seems easier.
Yeah. I think it's just the nature of our society. Everyone's so busy, people don't have time to think, or like the whole concept of, when I tell people I cook mostly everything that I eat, like 90% of the food that goes in my mouth I've made myself, people just reel back in shock saying, how do you have time for that? Or I can't be bothered. And it's
you don't have a job.
Well, even before that, fair enough. Or
but kids.
But before that, I always had time because I've always thought every cell in my body
You don't work.
Yeah, every cell in my body. All right, you guys.
Apart from that,
apart from the fact that I don't have kids or a job, but I did it when I was working crazy hours. I always cooked my own food, and I've always thought, well, every cell in my body is going to be made from what I put into it, and if I put shit in, and then chances are I'm going to get shit out. Yeah.
When I first met you, David, if you guys don't know, used to be my clinic owner in East Gardens here in Sydney. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? He's like got this massive bowl of sort of Bircher muesli that he'd made overnight. He would sit there eating like seaweed sticks and just all this weird stuff. But it's impressive because he did it all himself. He'd really thought about food. You used to be vegan, but then you changed. Yep. So like you're not just following the mantra.
Then you changed.
Yeah. Were you paleo as well?
I've pretty much tried most diets just to sort of see how I felt. Not for. I mean, I did vegan for about 18 months, and God, I mean, not to offend any of the vegans out there, whatever people want to eat is their personal choice, but just the mind games that you'd play with yourself. You'd walk past a hamburger store and try and pretend that it didn't smell good.
And there's me walking back.
Just like, a Porto? For anyone listening outside of Australia, that's a chicken, a well-known chicken brand. So let's just talk about the skin, because obviously this is an aesthetic podcast, and Jake and I are firm believers that the body should be looked at holistically. But if we're focusing on skin, maybe let's just talk about how does diet and nutrition and some of the supplementation, and particularly collagen, how does that impact the skin in the aging process? Because we are starting to realize that everything is connected, and we've spoken about that many times before. Collagen stimulation treatments have been around for a long time, but they're certainly back in vogue, and there's a whole raft of them that have arrived and are arriving in the near future. So can you just talk about that a little bit? Because we are talking about skin health and how do we look better. We talk like collagen production, elastin, all those kinds of things. So maybe let's just hone in on that for a second, so you can share some pearls of wisdom with us, Fiona, when it comes to the skin.
Look, the skin, as you've just really said, our cells are made up primarily from what we eat. So we need to give the skin the building blocks to be as healthy as they possibly can. We also know that topical nutrients from skincare are also very important, because you're going to be getting those nutrients directly on the skin. I'm a big believer that when we combine topical nutrients via skincare, good quality skincare, with internal nutrients and treatment modalities, that is when we're going to get the very best results for clients. And that's when we see the very best results for clients. I know sort of working hands-on in skincare quite often be recommended certain skincare, but maybe they weren't quite getting the results because they were still going home and drinking alcohol and not eating a healthy diet. So when we could actually help to address internal factors as well as topical factors, that was really when I started to see that extra shift and that change in the skin. I mean, we've got clinics at VitaSol that are selling sort of $5,000 to $10,000 of just ingestibles a month. So, they're really getting on board with the integrative skincare approach and really seeing incredible results with their clients' skin, from that just general luminosity and glow, the skin health, the skin recovery. Because don't forget, the skin needs things like amino acids. It needs nutrients for wound healing even and cellular repair. And if it's not getting that, the wound healing is going to be compromised in the skin. And as a result, we're not going to get optimum results from those treatment modalities that we're providing in clinics. So I believe if we can give the very best internal support combined with the best topicals and the best treatment modalities, it's a no-brainer that your client is going to get the best results. And at the end of the day, if they're investing thousands of dollars, whether it be, these new treatments that are available, they're thousands of dollars worth of treatments, whether it's in injectables or whether it's, radio frequency or skin tightening or whatever the treatment may be, just to spend then another sort of $150 on a couple of ingestibles, really isn't going to make a dent in the pocket when they're investing that much. And the support that that's going to give to the skin, to me, I just don't understand why more practitioners aren't combining that.
Yeah, Jake, why aren't you? Or maybe you can answer it. I mean, because I think there is, and sorry, I'm answering your question for you. There's a lack of awareness. I mean, you guys are very pigeonholed in your area of specialty, and you understand the treatment modalities and the anatomy and all those kinds of things. But most medical practitioners don't know much about nutrition, if anything. And so I feel, and tell me what you think, that it's just out of your ballpark. It's not in your paradigm.
Yeah.
And so I think it's potentially education and awareness.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember learning about nutrition apart from learning about maybe some macronutrients at medical school. I don't remember learning about, health or skin or all these things that we're talking about. I just remember learning about, the Krebs cycle and how we survive as animals. and that's as far as it went. And I don't think anyone understood the Krebs cycle anyway.
Yeah.
To be completely honest. No. You sort of look at it and go, okay, hopefully that doesn't come up in the exam. I'll just pretend that doesn't exist.
We all had to learn it, but none of us actually understood what it was.
Yeah. But, I think, it's the same as when we had Dr. Conlon on, Nicola Conlon. We're talking about regenerative aesthetics and supplementation from an NAD perspective. Yeah. We're not dovetailing all of these things together. I'm an injector and most clinics have injectors. Sure, we have some laser therapies and maybe a few adjuncts, but really that's as far as it goes. And to be honest, even for our patients, I think if tomorrow I started talking about nutrition in great detail, it would be a bit of a sort of a mind shift for them. It's going to take time to introduce some of these things, and even proper skincare, for God's sake. I mean, of course we do skincare, and I'm no expert, but I will refer them on to our skin team. And yet, if I speak to one of my injectable patients about skincare, sometimes it's like I'm talking Chinese to them because they just don't recognize that they need to be doing other things as well as just injectables. So it's a patient education thing. It's a practitioner education thing. It's all the myths and marketing crap out there that confuses people. I think it's a bit of a schmozzle, to be honest.
Paralysis by analysis.
Yeah.
I think it's about really, and I don't think you need to get into in-depth nutrition, education with them. It's more about, this is what I'm doing for you to enhance, the skin aesthetically. But, for optimum results, that skin quality needs to be worked on. And we can improve that by just some simple strategies. Let's increase the polyphenols in your skin. Let's increase the omegas. These two things are going to make a huge difference to the overall appearance of the skin.
Yeah.
These are the products that I would like you to be taking at home. It can be that simple. If you're doing things like filler, if you're doing bioremodeling, if you're doing skin tightening, collagen induction therapy, it's a no-brainer to me to be getting them on the marine collagen peptides, because we know that they've been clinically proven to increase collagen density, improve hyaluronic acid production. So if you're putting hyaluronic acid in the skin, we know drinking water is going to help plump up the skin. Why would we not then also recommend the collagen peptides to help support that? Because we know that they've been proven to increase elasticity, hyaluronic acid production. So great for skin hydration, and also collagen density. And I can honestly tell you, I've been working in this industry for over 30 years. I have never seen better results on skin than I have with collagen supplementation when it comes to skin plumping and hydration. Now, I recently tried bioremodeling, and that blew me away as well for hydration and that sort of plump, dewy result. So combining those two together, that's an absolute winning combination. And again, I'm a huge fan of omegas and essential fatty acids, because we know, the evidence out of all of the supplements really is very strong for omegas, particularly when it comes to skin, your omega-6 and your omega-3 for things like ceramide production, skin elasticity, skin integrity. So to me, that would be something that everyone would be taking home as part of a package. So you don't even have to get into that nutrition conversation. It's like this comes with the package.
Yeah. That would be the goal, wouldn't it? You don't have obviously you have a choice, but you'd say to your patients, hey, we do things differently here to give you the best skin. I think the best way of explaining to people isn't the process, it's the result. It's like, if you want to have singing skin and, volume and all the rest of it, these are the things that we are going to do. And each thing that you don't do, you're going to get less good results. And I think people would listen to that more than, you've got to go and see the nutritionist now. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That, and then it's like, oh gosh. And then they're just going to preach to me and tell me that I can't have my glass of wine and my, and it doesn't have to be that. You can still have a bit of everything. It's just about what we're increasing in the diet. You don't have to start taking everything away. And when we increase, you naturally then will actually eat less of the ultra processed food and the junk food, and you have more calories in the healthy food. Yeah. And as a natural byproduct, people usually lose weight from that as well.
People in their cars may be screaming saying, hey, she said there's evidence for this and that. Can we put some of the links at the bottom of this podcast in the description so people can read about, the evidence that you cited? Is that possible?
Well, when it comes to collagen, for instance, there's over 25 now randomized double-blinded placebo-controlled trials showing consistently significant effects of collagen peptide supplementation. When it comes to skin, improves skin hydration, improves collagen density, and an improvement in lines and wrinkles. Interestingly, 11 of those 25 randomized blind placebo-controlled trials, big mouthful, had zero industry funding. So, and all of those studies were very, very similar in the results. And overall, there's an improvement in collagen density, an improvement in skin hydration, because we're improving on hyaluronic acid, an improvement in skin elasticity. When it comes to skin, it seems to be marine collagen peptides seem to be the gold standard for the improvements in hydration and skin elasticity. Bovine and marine both are beneficial for collagen density. So the studies are there now to support that. And anecdotally, the feedback that I receive and that I have personally seen with collagen supplementation from particularly that hydration, that plumping of the skin, cellulite, the improvement in cellulite is quite incredible. And only recently, I had a somebody from the medical profession contact me to say they were blown away with the results after taking marine collagen peptides, the VitaSol product. After 1 month there, they saw complete clear skin. They had psoriasis, basically. They had to come off psoriasis medication because of the severe side effects, started taking the marine collagen peptides really just for skin health. And within a month, their psoriasis had completely cleared. So they're now taking that regularly. I've also put them on the omegas as well, because obviously omegas for skin health, the VitaSol ones, we've actually developed a specific formula for skin. Not for skin, but for skin.
No foreskins here, Fiona. 2 Jews. No foreskins.
So the results that we are getting, and that anecdotal feedback as well, muscle recovery, muscle soreness. Again, people are saying they're not getting so much aches and pains as well. There is some studies in joint pain as well with randomized controlled trials. But, I'm really looking more at the skin evidence as well. So there is evidence there, but I think a lot of people just don't understand how collagen works. And so they just go, oh, it couldn't possibly work, and they dismiss it. But if you actually look at the evidence and you actually take it and you take the right collagen and the right amount, I'm really blown away by the results for that.
Well, there's someone that I know personally that had cellulite on their thighs, female, and after taking collagen supplements for about 2 or 3 months, it all but vanished, and I've saw it with my own eyes. So that's something that I've heard.
Why are we looking at their bum?
Because they asked me to.
I think I might know who that is.
Yeah.
It's a big hint, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
And it wasn't me.
Yeah. It wasn't Jake either, brother.
You said she, but debatable.
Yeah. So how does it actually work? So what happens when we understand what happens when you're doing collagen stimulating treatments, as you said, through like micro needling, or you're getting something like a Profilo treatment, or any of the other, like Sculptra, any of the other collagen stimulators. So what's actually happening when you ingest it? So you take the collagen supplement, so you take your marine grade supplement. What actually happens? How does it get from the gut to the skin? Like how does that work?
Just sort of magically. This is the thing, right? So I was the biggest skeptic of collagen. And I think and I remember when I used to...
And I know that you are skeptical. You and I are personal friends outside of the podcast, and we have debates over this not debates, discussions. And you're a no bullshit kind of person. So unless you've sort of seen the studies or seen it for yourself.
And I'm a harsh critic.
Yeah.
I'm a bitch of a critic, to be honest. Like I'm harsh. You've got to really convince me. And I was.
Have you met Jake?
Yeah. Well, I was probably with Jake on the collagen front, to be honest. I used to go to Asia a lot for work, and 20 years ago in the pharmacies, there would be collagen supplements everywhere. And I remember thinking, what a load of rubbish, as if you're going to eat collagen and it's magically going to absorb and attach to your skin. Like, how's that possible? And I think that's how people think collagen works. And of course, it's not going to work like that. That's impossible. It's not like you eat fish collagen and then that fish collagen then attaches to your collagen and makes it plumper. It doesn't work like that, and that's impossible. If you think about collagen, the native collagen, it's got a very large molecular structure. It's about 300,000 to 600,000 Daltons, right? When we're looking at collagen supplements, it's in the form of peptides. So native collagen, without any hydrolyzation, is about 300,000 Daltons in molecular size. Too large to be absorbed via the gut. And you hear people say, collagen's too large to be absorbed, it can't do anything, blah, 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 blah. That is true. It's too large to be absorbed via the gut. So what will happen via the digestive system, it will break it down into amino acids where it is then absorbed. There are some studies to support even unhydrolyzed collagen in its native form of, sort of around 300,000 Daltons, will still have some benefit. And that is thought to be because collagen has the unique amino acid profile. It contains hydroxyproline, which is a unique amino acid to collagen. You don't really get that in the diet. You only get that through collagen. Our body will be able to create it, providing we give it the necessary amino acids. Aside from that, though, collagen supplementation for skin in particular that is hydrolyzed collagen or collagen peptides, which means the large molecule of collagen has been hydrolyzed, usually via enzymatic reactions or processing, into small peptides, breaking it down to a size of around 2,000 to 6,000 Daltons. So if you think of native collagen, 300,000 Daltons, the peptide is between 2,000 to 6,000 Daltons. So you can see very, very small molecules. These have been shown to be absorbed via the gut, via what we call the PEP1 transporter in the small intestine, where it has shown to act as a signaling molecule on the fibroblast cells. So it's working in a way like the fibroblast-like growth factor, signaling the fibroblast cell to produce new collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid. So that is how it's thought to work. So not only are you getting it sort of as that signaling molecule action, you are getting the benefits of the amino acids of the collagen. Now we know that collagen, the main amino acids are glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline. And that is why it's thought that collagen supplementation, you're getting all the necessary amino acids for healthy collagen production, but it's also having this peptide signaling like action on the fibroblast cell. And that is why we're getting such a great response with it. So even without any other nutrients, just the collagen peptides alone are having an increase in collagen density, skin hydration, and skin elasticity. They have also been shown to act as almost a protective role by helping to protect against the breakdown of collagen and elastin. So inhibiting those MMP enzymes that are usually induced by ultraviolet exposure that accelerates the breakdown of collagen and elastin. So we're having this sort of encouraging, stimulating effect on collagen, but we're also helping to protect the breakdown of collagen and elastin. Now, combine that with things like your polyphenols, and that's why in VitaSol I'm so passionate about polyphenols. Polyphenols, we know, help to also help protect the breakdown of collagen and elastin and help protect the skin from UV-induced sun damage as well. Plus, they are dynamite in a positive way for the microbes in the gut as well. So they're also having this sort of anti-inflammatory prebiotic type effect systemically.
I'm such an injector. My key takeaway from that was these peptides get absorbed through your small intestine. They work on the fibroblasts to produce collagen, elastin, and other things. And that's exactly how Profilo works. The little molecules of Profilo do exactly the same thing. They signal to your fibroblasts. You can see now
why it would be such a great marriage between the two products. And to me, I'm like, why is nobody doing? I mean, our clinics are doing it and they're getting incredible results. So not only are they getting incredible results for their clients, the clients are getting those results, trusting their injector more because the results are so good. And then you get more patient compliance because they're doing more what you say because they got great results that time. And then, of course, for the actual practitioner, they can be making sort of $10,000 extra a month just by increasing their product sales. So why would you not?
Well, yeah. I can see some product behind you. Can we have a look at it? Can you grab a jar and show us it?
That might be tricky because I might be all I might not call my here we go. I'm all wired up.
This is for the people watching on YouTube eventually?
Yeah.
So this is collagen. We just use 100% pure collagen peptides. Yeah. So for me, and David will know this about me, I am pedantic about quality. Pedantic. We used wild-caught codfish, so we don't use mixed fish species. We don't use tilapia fish, which a lot of the collagen supplements do. We use 100% pure collagen peptides. Now, we use codfish because it has to go through minimal processing. So we use, it's cod skin basically is what is used for this, which is then hydrolyzed. with a lot of collagen supplements, and this is what really grinds my gears, because collagen now is $1 billion industry and everyone's hopping on the collagen bandwagon. People are bringing out collagen supplements left, right, and center. And so what they'll do is they'll sell you a collagen supplement, but then when you go to look at the label, there's hardly any collagen in there.
Right.
And if you're not getting the right dosage of the collagen, you're not going to get the results. So they may be adding other powders in there. They may be adding fillers, maltodextrin, all sorts of other things with that collagen. And then when you look per serve, maybe there's only 2 or 3 grams of collagen. Now, really, in the studies, a maintenance dose of collagen needs to be around 5 grams of collagen. Mm-hmm. Our studies have shown for best results, 10 grams of collagen for 3 months and go down to 5 grams of collagen as maintenance. Now, if you're doing something like Profilo, if you're doing injectable treatments, if you're doing skin tightening treatments, collagen induction treatments, it makes sense to me to go with the higher dose, go with the 10 milligrams of collagen, because what we're trying to do is give that boost, right? And then we're stimulating the skin. We're causing an increase in skin rejuvenation. Your skin is going to be working harder. It needs more of a boost. So that is why I would say if you're doing those types of treatments, up the collagen to 10 milligrams and then go down to a maintenance of 5 milligrams. That is why you need to be picking a brand that knows skin, that knows the clinical treatments, that can work with the clinics to go, okay, these are the products that we would recommend with each treatment, and these are the dosage amounts that we would recommend to get the most beneficial results. If you're a young person, if you're in your 20s, you may not need such a higher dose of collagen because, let's face it, your fibroblast cells are pretty sort of active and you're getting the best results. I'm sure you would find that when you're doing bioremodeling with people in their 20s, they're not going to see such a huge result as somebody that was more mature, who is like myself, who is in their 50s, that is going to need collagen at a higher dose and that is going to see the results of sort of bioremodeling treatments very, very quickly, because my skin wants it. You know, it's like, give me all the collagen I can get. Sucks it up. Mm-hmm. But when you're younger, you wouldn't need so much of the collagen. That's more of a maintenance, and you would be fine at starting at 5 grams. Yeah. So at VitaSol, we just say start with 2 heap teaspoons, really 2 generous teaspoons, and then go down to 2 flat teaspoons as a maintenance.
Yeah. So how does it work? You put it in water. What does it taste like? How much do you just do it in the morning?
Yeah, so for me, I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. I know there are a lot of products out there that have got little sachets. Most of those sachets are only about 2-3 grams of collagen. So you've got to check what's in them, and some of them are flavored, which means you've got to add water, etc. Mm-hmm. So this is completely flavorless. You can't taste it. You can add it to anything really, but I recommend adding it to a hot drink. Mm-hmm. I have it in coffee every morning because don't forget, coffee actually is great because it's there.
David showing his coffee with presumably VitaSol in there.
Yes.
It's a great source of polyphenols. So you're getting the benefit of the polyphenols from the coffee. You're also getting the collagen in there. I have it in the morning, 2 teaspoons in my coffee every morning. Very easy to take. It's pure collagen peptide, so you can easily add it to coffee. You could add it to herbal tea. You could add it to a smoothie. Some people put it in their porridge, but it's a very, very easy, tasteless white powder that you add. So it's very, very simple and easy to take. If you feel that your diet may be low in other nutrients that are required for collagen formation, such as vitamin C, we do have the Infinity powder, which is your polyphenol vitamin C powder. Or, you know, just eat more berries, really. You can do that as well. Most people are getting enough vitamin C in the diet. Otherwise, they've got scurvy. Yeah. But we also need things like iron for collagen production. So if you do find that somebody is chronically low in iron, that will affect the quality of collagen being produced. You'll still produce collagen, but you probably notice that person will have more flabby, floppy sort of skin because you haven't got that strength of collagen in the skin. We also need nutrients such as zinc, magnesium. They're all involved in collagen, and copper for collagen production. So it is important to be getting all of those nutrients in the diet. We'll still produce collagen with the collagen supplement, but for that real strong, healthy collagen, we need to be having a healthy, well-balanced diet.
Would either be surprised if I was taking 2 heaped tablespoons of collagen a day rather than...
No, wouldn't be surprised at all.
I wouldn't be surprised. But saying that though, David, you do work out a lot.
Yeah.
You're pretty muscular. So you probably would need more, right? So I always say age dependent. If you're also having more skin rejuvenation or you're needing more wound healing, that's when you'd be going for at least 10 grams. If you're really working out a lot, you actually would need at least 10 grams.
Okay.
If you're somebody that runs a lot and really works out, you could even get up to 15 grams, which would be 2 teaspoons. So that's absolutely fine.
Okay, there you go. Just to make sure I wasn't overdoing it.
Those are my marathon running, slim, eastern suburb mummy type people, the 15 milligrams a day type people.
Absolutely. And, people say are there any contraindications to collagen? And again, I'm really cautious. And I would say don't take it whilst pregnant. You wouldn't really be having injectables whilst pregnant anyway, but we just don't know. There's not the data there on pregnancy. So why would you really want to be supplementing with it during pregnancy would be my question. So just to stay safe, don't have it. Obviously, if you've got a fish allergy, you wouldn't be taking collagen. The other area of when not to take it as well, if somebody's got a collagen production issue, there's some kind of collagen disease, scleroderma, that type of keloid scarring, you wouldn't be recommending collagen peptides. The other area, interestingly, a lot of people take collagen for gut health. Now, there isn't that much research when it comes to gut health, to be honest with you. There is some research showing collagen peptides may be beneficial for the integrity of the tight junctions. So basically, layman's terms, leaky gut. So it can strengthen the lining of the gut. Saying that, though, some people with gut issues, such as, I wouldn't be giving it to people with major gut issues, particularly diverticulitis. Have I said that right?
Diverticulitis, yeah.
I can never pronounce it correctly. Because they have shown to have excess collagen production in the gut in that area. So taking collagen peptides for those people could actually cause flare-ups. And I have heard anecdotal feedback in that instance in the negative for taking collagen supplementations. So they're things to be aware of. The only other thing I would say is collagen isn't a complete protein. Now, as you're probably aware, a complete protein is when we're getting all of the amino acids in the diet. In collagen, there's about 18 amino acids. The one that's primarily missing is tryptophan.
Yep.
Now, tryptophan...
Chicken?
Turkey.
Yeah,
turkey.
I got it.
But tryptophan is the amino acid that helps to keep us calm. So the only time I'd say just be careful, if somebody said, could I overdose on collagen, is if somebody has got a lot of anxiety, they're not getting much tryptophan already in the diet, then they're upping their collagen, they may need to increase their tryptophan. Otherwise, they could find that they worsen their anxiety. So that would be something I would say be mindful of. And tryptophan we get from things like chicken, turkey in particular, and bananas, things like that. So just add a banana in your smoothie with your collagen and that will boost your tryptophan.
Can I just ask you, you spoke about marine collagen, and I know that's the product that VitaSol produces and understand the benefits of it. What is the difference between that and like a bovine source, and why is one better than the other?
Well, the main difference really is the source. So the fish collagen is a marine source, and bovine is from cows, really, sort of hooves and bones, things like that. That's really the main difference. With fish collagen, it's primarily type 1 collagen.
Right.
Very small amount of type 3. And with the bovine, I think it's 1 and 3. Saying that, however, with the actual studies, both peptides have been shown to stimulate the production of type 1 and type 3 collagen. So type 1 and type 3, as Jake would know, are the main types of collagen in the skin. Now, that is when, there's a lot of misinformation online saying you need a type 1 collagen, type 3 collagen, all these different types of collagens for different results type thing. You don't, because the peptides are working as signaling molecules, which signal the production of type 1, type 3 collagen, your hyaluronic acid and your elastin. The only difference really with that they're all peptides. They're still broken down into peptide form, the bovine and the marine collagen. So the only difference really is in some of the studies, the marine has shown superior results with elasticity and hydration, but both show great results with the production of type 1 and type 3 collagen. Bovine collagen does tend to be a lot cheaper to produce, which is why you'll find the marine collagen products tend to be more expensive because they are more expensive to manufacture.
I was going to assume that your question was about, the source and the ease of getting the collagen as well, but I thought it'd be easier to get it from fish, but maybe I got it wrong.
It's not like there's certain kinds of fish, so you're getting it from cod. Yeah. So is it more difficult because it's such a specific fish and there's a supply issue, or why is it difficult to get?
Not difficult, more expensive.
Right.
But I know nothing about animal farming and I don't want to get in the ethics of that, but I would just assume there's more fish, so it would be cheaper.
No, not more expensive.
Interesting.
I guess if you think about, beef patties.
Yeah. All right.
Beef patties and beef farming, and there's a lot of beef byproducts, collagen byproducts.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough.
Interesting.
It's just cheaper. It's cheaper to source, a lot cheaper. So if you see an expensive bovine collagen, they're milking it in, let me tell you. Excuse the pun.
See what you did there. So what does this cost for, a tub of the marine collagen from VitaSol? What's that going to look like over a year? And, and what's maybe the RRP in a clinic that you would suggest someone sells it for?
Well, whoever's got the mathematical brain can work this out for me because I don't
get my calculator out. I've got it here.
The old calculator.
So we've actually kept our collagen really affordable.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 210 grams of pure 100% collagen peptides. So that is just pretty much 210 grams of collagen.
Mm-hmm.
And we retail that for $69. So that would last you a month.
And that's for a clinic to buy it?
No, that's your recommended retail.
Oh, wow. So that is cheap. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Look, for me, it's about making products affordable. So we just don't, to be honest, we don't put the massive markup on our products because I want people to use them.
Yeah.
And I want people to buy them, basically. Yeah. And if it's too expensive,
not going to do
it's not sustainable. They're not going to be able to afford to take it. So, and you're getting a really good dose of collagen in that. So that would be, $69 a month.
$828 for the whole year, which is cheaper than around a Botox of me, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
All right. So if you're a clinic that's looking to potentially stock this product, how does it work, Fiona?
Well, if you're looking to stock the VitaSol products, you can come to us. We supply training. There's a special for Inside Aesthetics listeners.
Ooh.
If you're looking to stock the brand. So we're actually giving away 5 free products. So it's nearly $350 discount on the opening order. We've also got a discount on the recommended retail price. So if you're just looking to use personal use, there's a 10% discount on the recommended retail. So that's with the code IA10. You can put that in and you'll get 10% off recommended retail. If you're looking to stock the products, come to us, mention Inside Aesthetics, and we will provide you with the 5 free products.
Amazing. So just to clarify, if you're a consumer, you just want to try this stuff, use the code IA10 and you get 10% off the price, obviously in the cart. But if you want to stock it, we're doing a special offer where you get an extra 5 tubs of the stuff in addition to what you buy.
Yep. And that's about $350 worth of product.
That's not too shabby.
It's not bad at all. So how long would it take for people, do you think, to start noticing results? I mean, what's the sort of What's the turnaround time? I mean, I guess it would vary from individual to individual, wouldn't it, depending on their baseline health, how good their skin is. But roughly, you've seen enough patients to sort of know, I guess.
It depends on the product as well, because if you're taking some of the other powders, for instance, you may notice a difference almost straight away just in, bloating and energy levels, for instance. But to see an improvement in the skin, I usually say you need to allow a good couple of months. Mm. When it comes to something like the omegas, you really need to be allowing up to 3 months. But the studies for collagen show significant improvements in skin hydration after 8 weeks. Collagen is about 12 weeks.
I'm a cynic. So what should I actually look for? Is it going to be, my dry skin gets better, or is it wrinkles are getting better? Like what are people actually seeing in the mirror?
So let's say collagen, for instance, and again, it depends on the age. So if you're in your 20s, you've got plump, hydrated, glowing skin, you're really not going to see much of a difference.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. If you've got more dehydrated skin, you're looking for more plump, hydrated skin, that is what you'll see. Mm-hmm. So hydration, plumping, glowing skin. The skin just looks better. With omegas, you start to notice more this sort of glowing, this velvet, this more elasticity, the sheen, the health in the skin. That's the sort of difference you will see. Some people will notice more plumping, which will plump out the fine lines and wrinkles. If you've got something like jowls, you've got elastosis, you've got sagging in the skin, you're really not going to see a huge difference with that. I've really yet to see anything that has made a huge difference with anything when it's that severe. So prevention is always better than cure. This isn't going to stop the aging process. It's going to add more hydration and plumping. It's a bit like saying, how much difference are you going to see from using a vitamin A product or a topical hyaluronic acid? If we're comparing it to that, then I would say from using the omegas and the collagen and that combination together, you're going to see plumping, hydration, fine lines and wrinkles. The sort of noticeable difference where people go, geez, your skin's looking great. What have you done? What are you doing? Like you're looking really glowing and healthy, that type of look.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing as what I'd say to someone after a Profiler treatment. Because it's sometimes
very similar, actually, very similar type.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even, visible in a before and after, but you feel it. It feels plumper or firmer, or even your makeup just sits a little bit better, or you get the odd comment saying, oh, your skin looks great, but you can't really do a before and after sometimes and say, well, that's the difference. It's just an intangible sometimes. It's a feeling as well as a look.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see usually if someone's had Profilo, I will notice that because the skin looks plumper, more hydrated, more glowing.
Yeah.
Now, is it going to get rid of, drooping and elastosis? No, absolutely not. But it's just that general texture and glow and that healthy looking skin is back. Particularly, I think, for women when they get to their late 40s, early 50s, 60s even, where there's that quite significant loss of collagen. The skin is more depleted. And it's almost given that sort of youthful, plump look back to the skin.
Yeah, I don't know if we've touched on it in this podcast, but it is, of course, important to say that as well as, supplementation, healthy diet, it's also about hiding from the sun, good sun protection, wearing a hat, and all the boring stuff that we tell people every single consultation. But if you don't do that, you're not going to reap the benefits from, taking things like VitaSol or doing injectables. You're going to lose more than maybe you gain.
Absolutely. But, there's even studies on, the Mediterranean style diet, and people that have a diet that is high in polyphenols have less UV induced sun damage on the skin, because we know actually that our diet, the nutrients in our diet can help to, and please don't misunderstand me that I'm saying it acts as an SPF. It doesn't, but it will help to protect the skin from the oxidative stress and the UV induced damage. Yeah. We also know that making sure we have adequate vitamin D levels, it's going to help the immune response of the skin. So combining the healthy diet with the UV protection is important, but also having antioxidants in your skincare, because we know even though if we're protecting the skin from the UV with that good SPF, there's a certain amount of UV radiation. You get to a certain point when your skin can't keep producing those DNA repair enzymes, and you're still going to get that increase in oxidative stress and UV damage. And that is why a good ultraviolet protector will also have increase of antioxidants in there as well.
Fantastic.
And just quickly before we sort of sign off, in terms of collagen benefits internally, so we've spoken about it in the skin, but in terms of like how it might benefit like organs, your skin, connective tissue, is there evidence to support that as well, or even anecdotally from what you've heard from people?
So there is some evidence on joint pain.
Right. Okay.
With collagen. The collagen that seems the most beneficial for the joints, however, is the type 2 collagen. So that's a different type of collagen. So type 2 is the type of collagen that's found more in cartilage.
Right.
And that's the one that provides the main joint support.
Right.
And that one has actually even been shown to be beneficial without it even having to be hydrolyzed.
Right.
But there does seem to be a benefit of collagen, whether it be bovine or marine, just for things like muscles, muscle recovery and general pain. I've had people say to me that they don't get the same sort of aches and pains that they did prior after they started taking collagen supplement, after taking the VitaSol supplement. I know Dave, he runs a lot. He doesn't moan about aching and pains as much. So it's definitely going to support that. If you think the type 1 collagen, so collagen, the bovine collagen, the marine collagen has been shown to help with type 1 collagen and type 3. So they're the main collagens in the skin. But type 1 makes up over 90% of your body's collagen. So it's your most common type of collagen. So it's in skin, bones, tendons, it's all over the body. It's in ligaments as well. You've then got your type 2, which is more for cartilage. The marine collagen hasn't been shown to help with cartilage, so joint structure. Type 3 is the main collagen found in skin and also in arteries and in muscles. So that's why there may be some benefit with muscle recovery. And you've got type 4, which is more sort of the basement membrane in the skin. And then you've got type 5. They're the main types of collagen. 5 you get in sort of skin and eyes and internal organs. But the ones with the collagen peptide supplements tend to be affecting the type 1 and the type 3 collagen. So that would be mainly your skin and your muscles, really.
Do you feel educated about
collagen? I do. I mean, I thought I knew a lot about collagen, but now I know more. So thank you very much, Fiona. It's been a fascinating chat, always educational, always good fun to connect and talk about these kinds of topics.
And if you guys are listening thinking, wow, I can't remember what they said about the offer, it'll all be down below in the podcast description. So check it out. I'm going to check it out.
Those studies we're going to put down there too.
Yeah, well, I mean, we probably can't find all, I think you said 25 randomized control studies, but we'll
all of those.
We'll do some fishing and add some links just so you guys can test your own critiquing.
Yeah, we're going to fish for collagen and fish for studies. There you go.
There you go. Well, thanks, Fiona. It's lovely to see you again. And maybe we'll catch up for coffee soon. I haven't seen you in ages.
Catch up for a Negroni.
Yeah. Actually, I've got a question. I saw on Instagram recently you did some M-Face. How was that?
It was great. I'm doing a course of it.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to try because as you're an injector, you'll see my issue is lower face. So if M-Face can lift me up, I'm here for it. So we're going to do a course, take some before and afters.
Yeah.
They've also got a new treatment called Exion, which is a combined technology that also uses artificial intelligence for skin tightening. So from my understanding, I think I'm having M-Face and Exion.
Ooh,
there you go.
That's very exciting.
And I will let you know because apparently the Exion isn't painful like, say, the Morpheus 8, which is very, very painful.
Yes.
So I'm here for it. I'm trying it. But so far, good. My only feedback would be as a consumer, it's an expensive treatment.
Yeah.
So if you're investing $4,000 for a course of treatments, that's a lot of money to be investing. You want to see a result. So for me, I've had one treatment. Yes, I can feel a bit of a difference, can I see $1,000 worth of treatment? Probably not yet. So I'm very keen to see after the 4 treatments how much of an improvement, because for me, it's definitely around the jowl area, and that's the area that I'm hoping to see an improvement in.
Yeah. The reason I dropped that in is, of course, we've been speaking about collagen and then I guess eating collagen and consuming collagen, but there are still things that, not even injectors do, but there are devices that sort of produce exogenous collagen, but from the outside and by tissue trauma and all the rest of it. So all these things added together.
As well.
Yeah, exactly. And if you do have tissue sag, maybe you need a bit more help as well as, having VitaSol.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got a loss of firmness in the lower face. I'm in my mid-50s. I've definitely seen that plumpness from the collagen that I've never seen from a topical product. Yeah. So I combine the collagen, also having the bioremodeling. I'm not a fan of filler because of that sort of fake look, but I love the bioremodeling injections. And of course, any skin tightening treatment, I'm here for it, providing it doesn't melt the fat on my face, because I want to keep that.
Yeah. Well, just to counter that, because I feel like I need to defend hyaluronic acid.
I was waiting. He's triggered, Fiona.
Yeah, you triggered me now. No, it's a good point. I think a lot of injectors fall into that trap of trying to lift the tissue somehow by blowing you up like a balloon. And it doesn't work. You need different modalities. So you're doing all the right things. And, we've seen the pillow faces. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, interestingly,
I saw a few scary faces.
Interestingly, just coming back from the UK recently, I just didn't notice it over there. It was a lot more of a subtle look. It was all about healthy, glowing, dewy skin, natural aging, but in a I call it a stealth wealth type of aging. People look good, but they don't look done.
Yeah.
Whereas here, I think we're still a bit behind, the big lips, the big cheeks, the big lashes, the hair extensions. I think we need to catch up a little bit for that more subtle aesthetic.
Yeah, we've definitely got a bit of the Miami influence, I think.
But you're from Essex. Essex kind of likes that look a little bit.
Yeah, but I want to be from Belgravia.
Okay, fair enough. Well, great to chat as always.
I'm levelling up, Jake. I'm levelling up. I was from Essex.
No, that's good. As long as you've got rid of the white stilettos, that's fine.
They'll never go.
Okay. All right, well, we'll speak soon. Take care. Thanks, you, Fiona. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
For our latest news, follow us on Instagram at Inside Aesthetics Podcast. If you want to get in touch with myself or David, follow us on Instagram as well at Dr. Jake Sloan and David_Inside Aesthetics.
Join our IA Patreon platform for invaluable business and injectable education. Get access to our global community of like-minded professionals, live and interactive Zoom sessions, hints and tip videos, webinars, and more. Head over to www.insideaesthetics.com/Patreon for more information.